You just can't do it. It's literally impossible.
WF.org.
The views expressed on the following program are designed to amplify those of the speaker and are not necessarily those of KAAM, DJRD Broadcasting, or its sponsors.
Hello, everybody. Coming up on today's experience, it's Dr. Dave's Devotional Diamonds of the Day, also known as DDDDDs, where my daily devotions become some of our spiritual reflections. Sound effects played throughout the show which have nothing to do with life, but the Bible teaches there's a time to laugh, and Jacob and I think they're pretty funny. The review of the goofy news, which proves Jesus is coming back sooner than you think. You better not just be looking busy. You better be doing things for the kingdom. Life lessons for our faith that we could actually use. Probably won't if we sit on our blessed assurance. Humor that will force you to think, why does this guy have a radio show? God only knows. Not just a song, a truthful statement. Also, Bible trivia for fake and yet somehow real cool prizes, your phone calls, and more. David Spoon Experience, local, national, and heavenly talk. My name is Dr. David Spoon. I'll be your host for the next 5,400,000 milliseconds. Get ready for one of the more bizarre experiences on live radio. Here is the key to the show. We don't know what we're doing. We have no idea what's going to happen, and we don't care. But for the next few minutes, I want to talk truth with you. So here we go. We're asking questions about living life as a Christian. That process, that thing there, I'm going to challenge you, as you know, I try to tend to do from time to time. Let me ask you this question. Straightforward, the Lord is listening. How are you going to answer? What can you do? What can you do to bless someone this week? That's the question. It is awesome to be a blessing to other people. People that bless people get blessed. Those that refresh others are themselves refreshed. What can you do to bless somebody this week? Are you willing? That's the question. How about that? Simple as can be. If you have a response to that, or an opinion, a comment, a thought, or a separate question, please don't let it die in loneliness. Just reach out and give us a call. 972-445-0770. That's 972-445-0770. And when you call 972-445-0770, well, by golly, you'll end up talking to Jammin' Jacob. Talking to Jammin' Jacob is like feeling confident that you have done your very best.
Thank you, David. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday to you, my friend. Anything going on today? Is all well today in the old Starship KAAM?
All is well in the Starship, David. How's your day going?
It's been going pretty good. We did have to take Bert in. I kind of told you that. I got here a few minutes early. Bert's got really kind of long nails, and he hurt one of his nails, and so we had to take him in and get that pulled and taken care of. I'm giving him a little antibiotics, but he's doing better. It's so sad when the dog's sitting on your bed and he's looking at you and he's got a little paw and he's got his little bandage on his paw and he's like, oh.
Looks like he just got in a fight.
Yeah, it looks like it
Bandage up,
didn't go
Paul.
well. But he's doing much better now at home with his mommy, so that's a good thing going on there, taking place there. But all is well as we move forward in the kingdom of God. Let's look at these things we're talking about. I want you to make sure that you hear the question that I'm asking you. What can you do to bless someone this week? Doesn't have to be financial or anything else. Just be a blessing. It's your time, your treasure, your talent. Whatever it is. Can you bless somebody? Are you willing to? Are you willing to be used by the Lord to do that? It's just that simple. Now, we do want you to be able to give us a call. We've given you the phone number. Nothing bizarre will happen as far as we know. No mild electric shocks when you make that phone call. Additionally to the phone call, you can text 214-210-8483. That's 214-210-8483. Again, 214-210-8483. Very simple. You can text us, you can call us, or you can email us. David at hemustincrease.org. David at hemustincrease.org. I can do it. Now, why would you call? Why would you text? Why would you email? Why would you do that? Well, it could be for a praise report. And it just so happens in my hands right now, I have a praise report for somebody who went to the website. We were trying to tell you, going to the website, there's things that you can give to, but there's things that you can take. It's give and take. It's giving and receiving. And so I have in my hands right now a testimony, a praise report from our very own Joanne, who can't be listening to the show today, but she wrote out this praise report. Listen how cool this is. You guys know she got to a new house, her and Cordelia. Here's what she wrote. We got a new bed from a friend for Cordelia's room, and we had kind neighbors help us move and assemble the heavy pieces. It seemed that everywhere we turned today, someone wanted to help us. It was such a blessing. And then late this afternoon, we saw a rainbow, the first that we've seen in perhaps a couple of years, and it was a double rainbow. What a cool praise report from Joanne writing that out. That's a very, very cool praise report. Gets a little clapperoo. Now that's a really cool one, but let's keep in mind, your praise report doesn't have to be written out. You can just call and share and say, this is something the Lord did. This blessed me. I had this meal with this person. It was such a blessing. I haven't talked to this person, text this person, emailed this person. I heard about this. I didn't hear about this. Whatever. We want you to share that praise report. We want you to have a place to do that. Now, you can do that simply here. You don't have to say it well. Don't have to have it all defined, all written out. You can just share. That's totally awesome. We love it. So you might have a praise report. That's a great reason to give us a call or to text or to send an email. Additionally, maybe you've got prayer requests. We're of those goofy people that we think prayer works. If prayer doesn't work, you're not saved. That's a pretty straightforward statement, because your prayer for salvation counts, right? Well, he answered that one. Okay. So we know that, by the way, Jesus commanded, ask and you will receive. Seek and you will find. Knock and it will be open. He didn't say, but think about it. No, he said, just do it. So we believe in prayer. We petition the Lord and ask for help. We're going to be praying for some people in a little bit, a group of people that are connected to us, as well as anything that you might have going out. Again, you can call, you can text, you can email if you've got a prayer request. Maybe you just got something you want to share that's on your heart. Maybe you're just like, going through a tough time, but the Lord's really pulling you up and pulling you through it. Share that. People love that. It blesses people. That's what I'm telling you. It blesses people. Now, we are going to get into our teaching first, but you still have that opportunity during the show to contact us with any praise report, prayer requests. If you got any questions, anything going on, you just want to share, we got that covered. We will be praying in a little bit for Angelina and for Keith, and also for Dolly, who's Robert's mother, who's having some infections. We're going to be praying for the people in our group. We're going to be praying for Martha, who's a friend of Joanne and Cordelia's, going through the same thing that Joanne went through. We're going to be praying for these people, plus other people. Right at this moment, we're going to jump right into the text. And the reason is because I want to make sure that we understand we've been in Psalm 62, and I think, personally, for me, as I've read through this psalm, it's one of the coolest psalms, especially verses 1 through 8 have been just a blessing for me to recover on and listen to and kind of focus on and meditate on. Just this coolness about David having this calm resolve while he's waiting for the salvation of God. Wouldn't that be awesome if we all had this awesome, strong, calm resolve while we waited for the salvation of God? That's what Psalm 62 is all about that. Now we're going to close out the psalm, and David has a couple of more direct things to say to a few others, or about few others, and so we're going to look at that real quickly. Here is what it says in verse 9. Surely men of low degree are a vapor, and men of high degree are a lie. And if they are weighed on the scales, they are altogether lighter than vapor. Do not trust in oppression, nor vainly hope in robbery. And if riches increase, do not set your heart on them. We love the psalm. We're picking it up in Psalm 62. We're starting with verse 9. As we're closing out this psalm, David makes it clear, and listen to this statement, men of low degree are a vapor. Men of high degree are a lie. You might be thinking, wow, that's pretty poetic, but what does that mean? It means that status or rank carries no weight in the scales of justice in the eyes of God. It doesn't matter whether you're a king or a pauper. It doesn't matter whether you're a servant or a mover and a shaker. Justice is the same because God is fair and righteous and just. Your pedigree, your position you were born into, position you attained to, all that stuff sounds great. Doesn't matter when you stand before God, because none of that has the ability to help you. It's amazing when you think of how the Lord makes it clear. You know what? In society, we do judge externally quite a bit. But God, in his infinite wisdom, judges on the inside of a man, knowing exactly what's going on with a woman's thoughts, knowing exactly what's taking place with children, knowing exactly what's taking place, not just with humans, but with animals and with every living entity, angelic and demonic as well. God knows everything, and it doesn't matter whether you're a king or a pauper. It doesn't matter whether you're upper class, middle class, lower class, or for some people, no class. It doesn't matter because God is just. And he is fair. Yeah, I know. You look at the systems of man and you know there's not 2 tiers of justice. There's 4,000 tiers of justice. Because it's never the same. It's always different. It moves around. The ball goes here. The ball goes here. They move the goalpost. It never makes sense. Doesn't matter. God is the only one that makes it absolutely perfectly right. And you want to know why? You want to know why he's the ultimate judge? Because he knows everything. So he's the only one that can judge perfectly. Get that? So when it comes to eternal things, not much to say. Only God can make that evaluation. So David's like, look, men of low degree are a vapor, men of high degree are a lie. Doesn't matter if you put them on the scale. They're so light, they're like a vapor, just go flying off. It means nothing. There's no stability, there's no strength, there's no anything in low and high degree. That doesn't matter. And then he switches the conversation in verse 10, as David often does in his Psalms. He says, do not trust in oppression. Listen to this. Do not trust in oppression, nor vainly hope in robbery. If riches increase, do not set your hearts upon them. Verse 10 is all about money. For people that don't think the Bible talks about money, you're wrong. It talks about money almost as much as anything else, I would say. That would be a fair statement. So when it talks about verse 10 about not trusting in oppression, not vainly hoping in robbery, it's important to understand what he's talking about, especially because the rest of the verse deals with money, because he's saying this. It is important because it's what we do with money that comes to us and how money comes to us. Uh-oh. It's important because it has to do with how money comes to us. If riches increase, we're not, so the rest of the verse says, you're not supposed to set your heart upon it.